What's up? What's up, Deepu?
Mr. Balachi. That's how they introduce, right? Vikram Balachi.
I've got so many. Like that is pretty close to my name, so no one says it. I got once. I got Vikram. I got Bilji. I got Vikram. B- I've got sounds. Yeah, it's funny. And usually they don't fuck up the first name. First name they always say Vikram or whatever. Second name they get confused how to pronounce. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think if they want to get the names right, they can, right? Who's that? The UFC lightweight champion boxer, something. Habib Nurmagomedov. I'm not saying it right.
Oh, really?
Ask
There is a UFC
any
champ.
random white guy, they fucking nail it. They get that name, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they put the effort in to get it right. If they can get that guy's name right, I think they can get Vikram Balaji.
Yeah. So I, even if they
Vikram
fuck it up, it's
Balaji,
fine.
brought to you by the same people who presented Kamala.
Ah, Kamala. Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
I just had my coffee, so I'm very excited. I had my filter coffee.
So you make your own filter coffee.
Yeah, I make my. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I'm excited. You get it. But yeah, I make
I,
my own
I,
filter coffee.
I'm not a big coffee guy, but I personally feel Indian filter coffee is the best coffee in the world,
Yeah,
right?
I think Indian coffee is the best because the lot goes into it, right? You have the powder, you have the filter, you have to put the powder and then put the right amount of hot water and then it percolates down, and then you have to shake it a bit and then heat the tumbler because Chicago is so cold. Otherwise, the coffee won't be hot. So to pour it in that and then heat the milk separately and then pour that and then just do it once so you get that frothy, amazing filter coffee. That is just amazing, right? Yeah, and I don't think I'll ever change. Even when I travel, sometimes I take the decoction in a small bottle and then take the tumbler and all that and have coffee there. Wherever
Wow,
I
that's
am.
hardcore. That's hardcore.
I know,
But
hardcore.
but but you know what's funny? Literally nobody outside of India agrees to this point of view. You ask anybody, they'd be like the French press, cold brew, some kind of Italian coffee maker. Like they don't
Yeah,
get it, or it's basically it has to do with the taste that you grew up with, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. I feel like, yeah, what are you used to? But I still feel like, there is something to that coffee. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm biased because I've been drinking it
We
all
agree.
my
I fully
life.
agree. I just don't know how to
Yeah.
convince the rest of the world, but yeah.
Are you
I
not
mean,
a
I've
coffee drinker, tea drinker? You're
no, I've
not,
never
right?
been a coffee, never been a coffee guy. I mean, I'm lactose intolerant, so
Oh,
I can't
oh
drink
yeah,
milk.
yeah. I remember when you told me that you were lactose intolerant for the first time. I think that was 4 or 5 years back when I was in India.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't have a clue of peanut allergy, lactose intolerant. I was like, why can't this fucker just say no? I don't want. I'm lactose intolerant. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then now, after I'm moving to the US, and I'm like, oh my god, everyone's asking me, like walking on the road, people will randomly ask, are you lactose intolerant? Okay. I'm
I
drinking
mean,
coffee here. You might get the smell and die. So wait, how did you find out for the first time you're lactose intolerant? What happens?
so there's a lot of bloating, cramping, diarrhea sometimes. So yeah, it's ugly. It's not good.
Sounds
No
like
bueno.
periods. Are you sure it's not periods?
I mean, there's some bleeding, but that's from the other thing. But anyway, um, I actually found out from my. So this is what happened. My dad was reading an article in the Sunday newspaper. This is like some 10, 15 years ago. I was still a little kid. These Sunday newspapers, how they would publish some random health article, health blog, because they had to fill the pages. There's no shit happening on Sunday. Randomly, there would be an article. Eating chocolate increases your life expectancy by 2 years. And 2 weeks later, they'll be like, dark chocolate is carcinogenic, new study. Just random, anything they want to publish, to put it out there. So my dad was reading this article, which basically introduced the concept of lactose intolerance. And he's reading it and he's like, wait, why are they talking about my son?
Oh, everything checked out,
everything
huh?
about everything about this fucker does every morning. Because here's what I would do. I would take a shit, I would I would shower, and then I would drink milk, and then I would go back again. you know, miss the auto or keep my sister and mom waiting because I have to use the bathroom again. So yeah, it was messy. So yeah, it was tough. So kind of figured out from there that okay, maybe something is wrong with me, and then yeah, when and got tested or whatever.
There
I
is a
think doctor.
test back home in India
I
for
think
lactose
so, but
intolerant.
you know how it is, right? The way the doctor tests you is like, you have it. I'm like, yeah, okay, you have it.
I thought in India it's more like nothing wrong. Just keep having, it'll get okay.
Like
At
it's like
some
getting
point, it'll
tested.
get okay.
It's like getting tested for COVID in India. It's a feeling.
It's a feel.
It's feeling.
I'm not going to make fun of India and the COVID testing when I'm sitting in the US. So things are much better back in India and every other country uh, than the
Fun
US.
fact about Luxembourg. Oh, by the way, I got tested 4 times so far.
So you don't have STDs?
That's what happened, right? We're talking about like COVID testing, like porn stars that get tested for like HIV, right?
I
Like
know.
that's the workplace policy. The HR manager is like, all our talent, we only work with talent who get tested every 2 weeks. Like if you're not tested, like we can't we can't work with you.
In fact, in my booking email now for club owners, I'm like, okay, attached is my COVID test from yesterday. I'm okay to come and perform. Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
wait, you actually had to do that?
No, I'm
Yeah.
exaggerating, but yeah, but sometimes we do tell them like, hey, I got tested and it's okay, because they also want to be careful, because sometimes comedians are all over the place, so they want to make sure you're not bringing it. Right, you're going on the road traveling. It's crazy. I remember at some point you were talking about having some shows in Netherlands, and then after the
Oh
show you
God.
did something crazy. So what
Return
was
of the
that?
Jedi. Yeah. No, that was when the lactose strikes back.
Oh, yeah.
That was it was a good show. I had a really, really good show in Leiden, a small town in Netherlands. It's part of like a 5-day weekend run that I had for brown guys, grace guys. Really good show. I was buzzing, I was vibing, I was in the zone, and I was like, all right, let's top it up. Let's hit the bar and drink some chocolate milk because like that was my
Yeah,
thing.
when everyone
See,
else is doing some crazy stuff, you decide to do chocolate milk because you're
yeah,
lactose
that's
intolerant.
that's like Molly. That's like my ecstasy. That's like takes me over the edge. You know what I mean? Um and so I saw that they had these bottles of chocolate milk stocked in the bar, and we were just going to pack up and leave the venue. We're just hanging around with the producer, maybe 10-15 minutes tops. We would be around there. So I asked the bartender, I was like, hey man, is it okay if I ask for like a chocolate milk? He's like, I don't care, whatever you want. Like I don't judge. All right, let's have it. And so he gave me it's like Choco Mel or something. It's like a Dutch brand, small bottle of chocolate milk. And as I was going to drink, the other comedian with me, and he's like, dude, don't do it, don't do it. Not good. I'm like, we finished the show. It's okay. It's fine. It's all gonna be. It's just a small bottle. It's gonna be fine. It was
And all
fine.
this in a bar, chocolate milk in a bar.
Yeah, bar. Yeah, it's just
Holy
standing there,
shit.
bottoms up. Felt really good. It's almost like this. Oh man, I haven't had like real chocolate milk in like so long. And yeah, oh, the next day was crazy.
Oh, it
Actually,
takes 24 hours to fuck with you.
depends. Sometimes it's 2 hours. Sometimes it's 12. I woke up the next day with a huge bloated stomach. I think it was like months pregnant kind of vibe.
Holy shit.
And
That is
oh
insane.
boy, it was
Just for
crazy.
milk, what, a glass of milk, I suppose.
And see, chocolate milk that they sell in stores, it's not just milk. It's milk and it's milk powder and it's like
Yeah.
some sort of random cream. It's like the worst of the worst.
Oh, so you have everything lactose there, right?
Like
Which
it's
is
like
not supposed to
like
be
a
having.
concentrate, yeah, it's like a concentrated dose. If I have like regular milk, I can measure maybe like 20 ml, 30 ml. I can push, and then I can kind of like flirt with danger. But yeah, these packaged stuff is yeah, it's pure evil. But hey, you gotta drink milk every now and then. Bleed out of your asshole. That's life. Again, that's
And this was the
obviously.
last time you had milk, right? After that, you haven't had.
It's funny you bring it up. I think I may have had milk, regular milk yesterday
Oh, and you're okay now.
because the barista. I mean, I I had to shit twice. Maybe it's related. Maybe they are unconnected incidents. I don't know, but it was okay. It wasn't too bad. This is what happened. I went to the store. I asked her. I said, "Give me a mocha coffee with almond milk." And then she handed. 5 minutes later, she handed me my coffee. She said, "Here's your mocha with regular milk." And she was like kind of pretty and nice and shit. So I didn't even pay attention. I was like, "Oh, thank you," and I just walked away. And I walking away, I'm like, she said regular milk. She said regular milk. And I'm drinking, it's tasting like regular milk. I'm like, maybe she said it wrong, or maybe I heard it wrong. And then I shat twice that day. Hey, it's still a mystery. You never know.
So, holy shit. You could have just gone back and changed it. They don't mind doing all that.
Ah, no, I don't have that kind of confidence in life. What are you talking about? Going back and
Really?
no. That
Stories.
person, would you like send stuff back? Like, hey, where do you get that kind of confidence? I don't know. I need to
I mean, if it's not what I asked for,
like as I'm
that's true.
sipping, half my mind is like, it's fucking irregular milk. Other half of my mind is like, okay, I can't go back here for at least a couple of months because it's going to be awkward because they know they made a mistake and they know that I walked away knowing it was a mistake. So I have to wait at least 2 years before I go back again.
No, I
So
don't think they give a shit. They gave you, then that's it. They've moved on. In fact, I thought all these, the baristas remember you. There was a pretty girl when I was in
every
Vegas.
barista I've met ever, even if it was just a 30-second interaction, in my mind, she's instantly in love with me. Okay.
I feel like that's your theory for any person, not just baristas. Anyway, the point I was trying to make was I was in Vegas
Okay,
few
edit
few
that part.
weekends ago.
Edit that part for legal purposes.
Uh,
Because it reminds me of this college humor sketch.
wait. Few weekends ago, I was in Starbucks, right? I had this great conversation with this pretty girl, and then we talked about the fact that both of us
Very
are from
good.
Chicago
Very
and all that, right?
good.
And then after 1 week, I mean, after like the next day, I come back and have the coffee, and then we start talking. I'm like, hey, yeah, and she didn't remember me at all. I'm like, I thought everyone remembers you when you have a nice conversation. She's like, oh, you came yesterday. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, so that's when I realized, you're never special to any of these baristas. But okay, I've got a gift from Zoom. What the hell is a gift from Zoom? Are you getting this?
Yeah, I got some pop.
Move,
I didn't even read. I just closed it.
or you
Something popped
closed it.
up. I just closed it without reading.
What the fuck
I,
is a gift from
I don't.
Zoom?
I don't know. I don't know what this says about me.
Okay, anyway. Oh yeah. What were you saying? Zoom
Crazy
distracted me big
happened.
time by giving the gift. Did I tell you my Paris story?
No, what happened?
So the first time I went to Paris, I was very excited because first time in Europe. We've seen
A
so
lot of
much
eggs.
about Paris and all the awesome stuff. But the one thing people told me was people are very rude. They won't talk back to you, which I think was bullshit. Because
Mm.
I went and asked a guy for directions. He said, "Hey, how do I go from here to there?" That guy
French dude.
responded, "Yeah." He said, "No change, no change." And it took me
Uh,
5 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck did you say? He said, no change. I'm like, you motherfucker, I'm not asking for change. I went back. I said, no, I'm asking for directions. I was explaining to him. Like, then he was like, no change, no change. Then he lost it. Then he gave me like some, bill for €5. And I'm like, and I'm still pissed off, right? I'm like, no, I don't want change. And then I did the math, like €5 into multiplied by INR, Indian rupees. And I'm like, okay, fine, go, whatever.
the stereotype that I've heard about Paris is that they hate English and they don't speak English, which is kind of true, but it's also changing. I feel like a lot of maybe it's just Paris or maybe it's just like the touristy places, but a lot of them speak English. But there's this grudging feeling. I was checking into a hotel and I walked to the reception, like the receptionist, the desk, check-in counter, and she's like, "Bonjour, monsieur." And this is like early, like the first few weeks that I was in Europe. So it's like, do you speak English? This was a response. She rolled her eyes. She's like, Good evening, sir. I was like, whoa, you don't have to throw that attitude. I just was asking a question. So,
Uh, but I heard that, and I don't know how much of it is true, but I was actually, there for my day job, and I was working probably like 40, 50 miles away from Paris, right? And then, and
Issue, or you were in
I forgot the
some,
name.
not
Some,
about mine, Palace of Versailles.
no, I have no clue. It was in some rural place from Paris.
Okay.
But I got pretty close to all the people. They're very nice people. And you know what they told me? They said this
Mm.
reason they don't speak English is if they're not if they don't know the language that well, right? If they're not comfortable, right? They don't want to speak a broken language. That's why they stay away from speaking in English, right? So, which was
Look,
an
this is
interesting thing to hear.
what they don't understand is their English is way better than any French that you or me can cobble up together.
Yeah, yeah, obviously, I have
Speak
no
English.
clue.
Yeah, my English is it's not very good. I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, I can't even say those words in French. Can we just parle in English, please?
Yeah, maybe they're setting their standard too high, I
Here's,
suppose. They
here's
want
what I
everyone.
learned the few years I've been here. The best way to get somebody to start speaking English is earlier I used to open with parlez-vous anglais, which is do you speak English? And immediately they'll be like, no, and then 2 minutes later I figure out they actually speak English, they just don't want to for the same fucking reason that you said. So now I have a different opener. I don't say parlez-vous anglais, I say vous comprenez anglais un peu? It's like, do you understand English?
Oh,
A little.
okay.
So instead of do you speak English, I just say, do you understand? So it's like, that's an easier way in. They're like, yeah, yeah, I can understand a little. Before they know it, they're talking in English with me. I'm
Easing
like,
into that.
got you. Yeah, it's a little
Deepu knows
tip.
how to sneak in, huh? This sly guy.
Yeah, if you want to really integrate without fucking learning the language, yeah.
So you're learning French now, right?
We miss you. So here's what happened, lockdown in April, thinking about life, decision, self improvement, like everybody. How long will you bake banana bread and fucking, you know, like do your home gym, like fucking yoga videos on YouTube and all that. So I was like, finally, I'll do my taxes. I'll call my mom. I'll learn French. All these ambitious goals. And came out of the lockdown, signed up for French language classes, 7 a.m. every day. Now I'm
7
like,
a.m.
fuck,
Shit.
7 a.m. Now I'm like, fuck. I want the second lockdown. I don't know what I signed up for. I'll do this in over Zoom, please.
So what language do you speak in Luxembourg?
Me, English, obviously.
No, no, no. I asked, like, what are the common languages they speak there other than English?
Common, I would say typically French.
French? Okay.
French is probably like, if you go to a grocery store, restaurant, any kind of like public interaction, French is probably the most common.
Got it. Okay.
Um, and then English, I would say, in the
Oh,
city because there are a lot of expats, French, English, although official languages are French, German, and Luxembourgish. You don't hear a lot of German being spoken. Luxembourgish, yes, especially if you step outside the main city, it's almost 90% Luxembourgish is what you'll hear.
and what is Luxembourgish? Is it like a mix of German and French, or
No,
what is it?
no, don't say
No,
that.
I
Low
don't know.
key, yeah. I mean, kinda, you're 100% right, but
No,
don't,
you're not
you
supposed to
don't
say it.
know. No, it's like
Where
supposed
people get
to.
upset is like a
Dude, it's okay. Hey, I'm just a messenger, okay? Don't fucking come at me. It was a dialect, okay? It was
okay.
a German, high, Swiss, low, French, whatever. It was a dialect until 1983. And then nobody was looking and they just decided to make it a language.
Oh,
You get what I mean? Suddenly they're like, it's not a dialect anymore. We have money. You don't have to pay taxes. It's a language. And everybody's like, okay, okay, cool. It's a language.
so you're
So
learning
it's
that as well now?
yes, ich lerne Luxembourgisch.
Uh, y-
Dude,
y-
I signed up for everything, dude. That's what I'm
Yeah, see,
saying.
that's what I like about you. You go, you try to integrate yourself with the culture, the dating, the language,
4 years late,
everything. That's
but
amazing.
4 years late, okay? Like I'm doing all this after being here for 4 years.
No, but see, I still know people who have moved from different countries to another country, and they've
Right.
still been in their shell and been with the same people and stuff. I mean, even I'm okay, but I am not like you, right? You're pretty open, moving around, right? That is good. That is good, right? I mean,
The funny part for me is this is after me performing French stand up. Like I did a bunch of French comedy shows, okay, in the first 3 years. And then in the fourth year, I'm like, maybe it's a good idea to learn the language. Maybe I need to know how to say bonjour, you know.
so you did stand up in that language, then you go and learn the language.
Then I go, then as an afterthought, maybe I'll learn the language, you know.
But by the way,
Here's the
I opened for an Irish comedian in Chicago. His name is Des Bishop. He went to China and
Des
he
O'Hara, Bishop O'Hara. No.
so yeah
Des McBish. Okay.
yeah I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but anyway, he went to China for one
Kilala,
year. He
Kilala. Yeah, okay.
spent time, learned Mandarin there, and did stand up in Mandarin and taught stand up for the locals there in Mandarin.
Who the fuck wants to learn that?
Fuck. Fucker has been learning French for the last 4 years and can't speak.
Oh, like you know who the kind of people who learn Mandarin? Mark Zuckerberg. You want to be the fucking nerd, learn Mandarin? Like every person I know who's learned Mandarin is not very popular.
It
Not
was
many
not a,
friends.
it
Let me
was
put
not
it that way.
about Mandarin. It was about learning a language, going there,
Right.
living there for 1 year, doing that. Yeah.
Oh, that hats off to that. Hats off to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody who is kind of like embraces new experiences, just uh, immerses themselves in it. Right? Full immersion,
True,
waterboarding.
true.
Yeah, respect. I'm all about new experiences. I like to walk in, ask for almond milk, get regular milk, and then walk out because it's all about embracing new experiences.